I feel like I always have something to say to like start the podcast, and like I just wanted to like give you a chance.
Yeah, no.
Do it yourself, and you just stared at me instead.
Yeah, I figured I'd just stare at you. That translates well. No, I was just gonna ask you how your week was going, but I wanted to come up with something.
So fucking yeah. You need to like step up your intro game.
Oh yeah, that's true.
My challenge for you next week is to come up with an interesting podcast intro.
All right, fair enough. I like that. I accept that. Challenge accepted.
Cool.
Oh, but that said, how's your week going?
It's it's been a week. This is so stupid. You caught the stream where I kind of figured this out. Throughout the past week, I'd been having issues with my computer.
Mm-hmm.
It was just running weird.
Yeah.
When I played Bloodborne on Thursday, which is, I play that on a console that I stream through my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like not having issues with the stream performance, but like the stream preview that I have on to make sure everything's okay was like kept like pausing and then skipping ahead, like trying to catch up, and it was like super behind where I was, and I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. And like that wasn't the first time I'd noticed that I was like having some issue with my computer just acting goofy and being a bit slow. So I figured out what the issue was. And I already told you, but I'm not gonna say it right now for the sake of the story.
Right.
I've been watching a lot of Linus Tech Tips videos recently.
Okay.
Linus Tech Tips is a massive channel. He's got like 13 million subscribers. He's got like a massive office and a ton of people working for him. But he just makes videos about computer stuff, and they're pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
And specifically, he did this series of videos called Secret Shopper.
Okay.
Where
oh no,
him and a bunch of his people like called up a bunch of like PC builder companies.
Okay.
And like had someone who's from their company who wasn't a computer person. They were like a marketing person, so they didn't really know a lot about computers, and just had them order a computer.
Sure.
And like see what the customer experience is like. And then when they got the computers, they like saw how decent the quality was compared to like the cost.
Yeah.
And then they intentionally like broke something in the computer so they could call customer service and like see if they could fix it. And so the issue that they decided to go with was they just pulled all the RAM sticks out of the motherboard.
Okay.
If you do that, the computer doesn't start.
Okay.
But people who make computers are pretty smart,
Right. You need to be relatively smart. Yeah.
A lot of motherboard producers, or pretty much every motherboard producer, comes up with some way to convey to the user what the issue is using a debug mode. So if you're someone who understands computers, you can like look up the one that you see the most commonly is like either beeps or flashes. So there'll be an LED on the front of the computer case that will either like flash certain colors in a certain sequence, or it will beep like long beeps and short beeps like Morse code.
Okay.
And then you like look up what that code is, and you can find out what's wrong with the computer. If you know about computers, you can fix it yourself.
All right.
And so, you'd think that'd be a really easy way to figure out what's going on. And so like over customer service, like a lot of them, some of them would tell the girl who's doing this, like, oh, go into debug mode, like tell me what the code is. And then they just tell them, okay, this is probably what the issue is. Try doing this, and they'd fix it. And then there was some like Dell's customer service was like, you got to send it to a repair depot.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's like, bro, all you had to do is stick the RAM back in. And they even knew to put it into debug mode, and they still were unable to be like, just put the RAM back in.
Oh my gosh.
But all that's to say, I've been learning a bit more about computers recently.
Yeah.
Last week we had a pretty big storm. Pretty bad storm.
Yeah.
It flooded a bunch of places. A bunch of people lost power. You lost power for 2 days, you said?
Yeah. It was right around 48 hours. It went out, I don't know, maybe like sometime in the middle of the night, Wednesday night, because it was off when I woke up. And then it came back sometime Friday in the middle of the night.
Okay. My store lost power, so that's like a shit ton of milk and stuff went bad.
Yeah,
it was. We had to have the store closed most of the day. It was a nightmare. Tons of people around here just were out of power.
Yeah,
I was in the middle of a live stream while this storm was going on, and my power went out, but not for long. It came back on really quick.
You're lucky.
When I was playing, when I was on stream, I was playing Monster Hunter World Rise. Sorry, Monster Hunter Rise, not Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise, I play on my Nintendo Switch, so it runs through a game capture device into one of my monitors, and then like I can use the game capture device to actually see it on stream. But I switch my monitor over to a different display setting so that I can, play the game.
Yeah.
So my power went out in the middle of that live stream. My computer went off. My Switch stayed on because it's a handheld console, so I just pulled it out, finished the hunt I was on, and then like I left my computer off for. I pretty much didn't touch it for the rest of the night. I think. I think I didn't touch it again until the next day. So the next day I try to turn on my computer and like it's just not turning on.
Okay,
but like it is turning on, but the thing that's not happening is nothing's showing on my monitors. Like my monitor on my left or on my right side, like turns on but stays black, and the monitor on the left doesn't turn on at all.
Uh-oh.
And so like I'm sitting here like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
There seems to be some issue, maybe related to this power outage that happened. And I thought back to this Linus Tech Tip secret shopper thing, and the thing they pointed out was that like one of the major symptoms of your RAM not being seated properly is that your monitor won't turn on.
Okay.
Or at least it won't show anything.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, so maybe this is the issue. And so like I went into my computer, I reseated both of my RAM sticks, and I turned my computer back on, and it still didn't change anything. But then I had the brilliant realization that when my monitor had turned off, it was set to a different input setting so that I could play on my Switch.
Yeah.
So I switched it to the right input setting, and it was turning on fine. There was never an issue to begin with.
Yeah.
However, in doing so, I had created an issue.
Okay.
Because when I reseated my RAM, I didn't actually go into my computer and make sure that both RAM sticks were properly in the computer. So I started having some computer issues where like my Twitch preview wasn't loading properly. And when I tried to stream Microsoft Flight Simulator, it ran like shit. And when I tried to play Monster Hunter World, it ran like shit. And I didn't know what was going on. I kept looking at my task manager. I was seeing my CPU was running at 100% utilization. And I was like, there shouldn't be any reason for it to be running this poorly because I have a really good CPU.
Right.
And I kept looking and I was like, okay, my GPU is only running like 30% utilization. My RAM is only running like half utilization. And like in looking at my RAM, I failed to notice that, yeah, my RAM was running at 50% utilization, but there was only half the total amount of RAM.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So after like a couple hours of troubleshooting to figure out what was going on with my computer, I finally noticed, went in, reseated both RAM again, turned my computer back on, back up to full memory, and everything was fine.
Yeah, I popped into that stream when you were having all your difficulties.
And I felt so dumb. I was like, I can't believe I didn't notice this. I can't believe I didn't figure out what was going on with my monitors the first time around. I can't believe that in my confusion, I created a problem.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to sue Linus Tech Tips. I don't even think I would have thought there was a problem if I hadn't happened to be watching those videos recently. So,
yeah. Well,
dude owes me money or a collab. I'd take that too.
Right? Yeah. I like it.
So that was a big chunk of my week.
Nice.
In other news, my Berserk video has been doing very well this past week.
Nice.
It just started like climbing in the views. Not anything quite like the Godzilla pop-off, as I will refer to it, but it is approaching, and I assume by the end of the day it will reach 2,000 views, which is awesome. So
good for you, man.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
Let's see. Well, you heard about the power outage I had. That was not great.
Did you lose any refrigerated frozen goods?
I did. I lost some frozen goods.
Oof.
I typically don't keep a ton in my refrigerator. Just because, I'm in and out of stores all day, every day. So usually I just decide, this sounds good to eat, and I'll grab something, go home and make it. But my freezer is usually pretty well stocked. And so I tried nursing like a cooler packed with ice to keep everything frozen. And that only worked for so long.
Yeah. You were out for a long time there.
Yeah. Yeah. If it had been like one day, I think I'd have been good. But like stuff like thawed and like anything that was in a box was all wet and soggy. And yeah. I I did manage to salvage a little bit of chicken though. Like it thawed, but it was still like really, really cold. So
that's good.
I was able to cook that, but nah, everything else gone. Lights off, AC not working. Obviously,
ooh, it's been hot too. I mean, I guess the rain cooled down a bit, but not for long. It got back to hot real quick.
Yeah, like evening. It was like 85 in my apartment and 83 outside.
Oof.
So I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit outside for a while because it's exactly the same, and there's actually sunlight going on right now. So, also the other thing, literally the day that my power went out, I had to put a new SIM card into my phone. Because I've had Sprint for years, and everything needed to switch over to T-Mobile because they bought Sprint. So gotcha. I popped the new SIM card in, and I didn't notice anything because, I use Wi-Fi at home. It doesn't really affect like my data usage. And I don't think it was actually a SIM card issue, but initially I did. I think there was a tower that was also down. So I basically had, on top of no electricity, I had no data either.
Oh, you were like, you were playing it old style.
Yeah, like I
fucking living out in the Wild West.
Yeah, like I don't even know how people survive without anything. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of the end of last week into the weekend. So not super great, but but I did see our friends Ken and Amy again.
Okay.
So they were having like a little, like, it was almost like a block party. Like one of the houses on their street had like a little party with they had like a band playing in the garage, and the neighbors just came and set up like lawn chairs and stuff.
All right.
It was actually kind of cool. But the story that came out of that, so I get there over to Ken and Amy's, and their kid Zach, he's just playing. He's got like a little like kitchen play set thing with like a little stove and a refrigerator kind of thing.
Classic.
Yeah, exactly. Like kids do. Well, he likes to throw things.
All right.
And he was just like playing around with it, and one of the things that you can cook, I think it was like part of like a hamburger or something like that, and he just had like the pickles for it, like little plastic pickles, and he started putting them in the microwave.
I also do that from time to time.
Yeah, for sure.
Microwave pickles are an underrated food group,
right? And so I'm pretty sure it was just coincidence, but I go, you don't put pickles in the microwave. And within like 10 seconds, he takes the pickles and just chucks them at my feet. And we're like,
he's like, this is my kitchen.
Fine, take your damn pickles. I was going to microwave them for you. So
you want to cook, Mike?
Right. You do it. Cook your own damn pickles. So we go to this block party, and we come back, and we're hanging out, and I don't even remember exactly what prompted it, but he was like screwing around with the pickles again. And I think I might have been like, oh, he's not going to put them in the microwave this time. And I don't even know if it was Ken or Amy. One of them goes, remember, Mike said, don't put pickles in the microwave.
Life advice. He'll carry that to his grave.
Yeah, for sure.
Life-changing advice.
Yeah. So he didn't try to kill me this time other than throwing the pickles at me. So
nice.
I think maybe he and I are working on our relationship. So
good stuff.
It's getting better. Yeah, but the block party was kind of cool. I didn't think that was actually a thing that people still did. I thought like, that was like a thing like in like the 50s where you'd see like, oh, it's neighborhood block party, and kids are like running around in the streets.
I mean, I guess it's probably comes down to the community in the neighborhood, like whether or not people interact with one another.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely like, if I were to own a house, which I don't know that I ever would want to,
Okay.
I would be the neighbor who's like, don't fucking talk to me. Leave me alone. Keep me out of your shit and I'll stay out of your shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I don't think I would be throwing or getting invited to any block parties.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, we talked before. I still don't know any of my fucking neighbors.
Right. Yeah. So we've talked about ignoring the fire alarm before.
Yeah, quite a bit actually.
Well, I was walking through my apartment complex, and it's a pretty big complex. Like, there's a lot of buildings, and one clear on the other side, I see there's like a fence around the building, and I'm thinking, that's weird. What's going on? And, we had a lot of storms and there were a bunch of trees around it. And I look and I see the roof looks kind of messed up.
Oh, no.
I thought, oh, my God, a tree probably fell on the roof. Because we had a tree come down, like a giant tree, like maybe a month ago. So I figured maybe it was the same kind of thing. I look, the roof above one of the apartments is completely gone. And like the bricks on the exterior wall are like collapsed and the entire thing is like burned out.
Oh, shit.
And they did not notify us.
Oh, man.
Like, I feel like they should at least be like, hey, just so you know, this happened.
I mean, I guess, it wasn't your building. It wasn't really related to you. It didn't spread.
Yeah.
But damn, that person fucked up their whole house. Do you think it was user error or some kind of mistake?
Probably user error.
It usually is.
It usually is. No, but the reason I say that I'm super surprised they didn't notify me is like, I get like 6 notifications a day from my apartment complex. It's like, hey, don't forget we're having yoga tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like, if you can tell me about that, maybe tell me when one of the buildings burned down.
That's fair. I understand that perspective.
Yeah.
There's this fucking video online. It stresses me out and just makes me go, oh no, every time I see it. It's this guy. He's like a streamer, not very well known, but he's like this Japanese guy, and he's just like, his whole apartment is a mess. Like, he's like within his streaming space has like bags of garbage and shit, and he's like sitting on the floor and there's like cardboard boxes.
Ugh, gross. Oh, way to go, Mack.
Fuck off.
God damn it. Turn off your sound.
And so like this guy was like fucking with a lighter on stream, and like a piece of paper like catches fire and like he drops it, doesn't notice it, like turns his head for a bit, then turns around, sees the fire slowly spreading. How does he decide to deal with it? He starts whacking it with a cardboard box.
Oh, okay.
And so like, he's surrounded by garbage, and like he just caught this cardboard box on fire. The shit flares up so fast and he just has to leave. And it's like, oh, I'm sitting there like, oh, there are so many better ways to deal with that situation. First and foremost, don't keep bags of trash around, dog.
Yeah. Oh, oof. I actually had a situation somewhat similar to that. It wasn't due to trash, but gosh, this was a long time ago. This is when I was still working stock at World Market. It was like super cold that winter. It was one of those winters where we were having like -20 temps.
Fuck that.
And, having to do trucks at, 5 o'clock in the morning out in the cold.
It's a nightmare.
Freaking sucks. So they make these hand warmers, and you fill them up with lighter fluid. And then you light it, and it doesn't actually like catch fire. It just keeps it warm, and you just put it in your pocket, and they work really well. But this was the first time I was using it, and I'm, following all the instructions and everything. So I've got the little thing set up, and I'm sitting at my table, and I lay down a paper towel just in case any of the lighter fluid spills. I'm thinking
trying to be careful.
Trying to be careful. So, it tells you, I don't know, fill it with so many ounces or whatever the amount is. Well, it didn't take the full amount. And so some of it like leaked out.
Uh-oh.
So I go to light it, and there's still some lighter fluid on the side of the thing. So obviously, like, the whole thing kind of catches on fire.
A little bit of a fireball.
Yeah. So I freak out and I drop it.
No.
Onto the paper towel, which on top of being a paper towel, now it has lighter fluid on it.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and there's flames probably 1.5 feet high in front of my face. So my first thought is I just swat it. And it's a paper towel. And you know, like when a piece of paper is like falling, you know, it kind of like floats around. So now I've got this flaming paper towel like floating around like my dining room, and then it lands on the carpet, and it separates into 2 pieces at this point. So I now have 2 fires on my carpet, and I'm panicking. I'm like, oh shit, I'm literally going to burn this place down. So I start swatting it, which then again causes
sends it flying.
Yeah, just sends it flying. So eventually that did finally work, but from that point on, I had like a giant, like half of a paper towel shaped burn in my carpet.
Oh, shit.
Like it was, you know, literally half the size of like a sheet of paper towel, like whatever that is, like 5 inches by 12 inches or something like that.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that wasn't good. That actually makes me think of a conversation that Amy and I had when I went over there a couple weeks ago to have a fire. We had started one. Well, Ken started a fire, and it was going really well. And we ended up having to put it out, and then we tried to get another one started later. Amy tried to get it started, and it just wasn't working. Like, you know, you shove like a box in there and you're like, oh, cool, it's working. And then the box goes out and the wood actually hasn't caught on fire.
Yeah.
But we came to the conclusion, we're like, if it's this hard to intentionally start a fire, how does anything ever burn down?
I mean, I think we have too many fire utensils at our disposal, you know, our stoves and shit.
Yeah.
Lighters and...
No, I get that. But like, she'd even put like an alcohol soaked tampon in the fire.
What the fuck kind of white trash ass bonfire was this?
Apparently it works. It's supposed to work really well. It worked the first time when Ken did it. So I don't know.
What little Boy Scouts pride I have hurts hearing the way you guys try to start fires.
Hey, I mean, rubbing alcohol is super flammable, so
it doesn't burn long.
It doesn't, but I mean, you've got a piece of cotton that just soaked all of it up, so
yeah, but you have to get like, you know, there's 3 tiers. I'm blanking on the names, but you know, you have the stuff that burns easy, then you have stuff that burns easier, and then you have the proper pieces of wood, and you guys are like missing that middle step entirely.
Yeah. I don't know. Ken got it to work, so good for him.
Oh, Ken.
Yeah, but it happens. You know, fires.
I don't have, contrary to what you'd expect, I don't have a lot of fire-related stories from my Boy Scout days.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing, actually.
Well, because they teach you to be safe about it.
Right.
So that's, you know, there's less room for funny stories. And like, even, you know, as camp staff, when we really didn't follow the rules of scouting that much, we didn't fuck around with fire and stuff and things like that. There was this one time, this is such a dumb situation. It was really funny though. Kyler, I've talked about before. Kyler and I decided one day we were just gonna gaslight all of the scouts.
Okay.
So he was the outdoor skills director and I was a tech director, which are, you know, pretty much opposite areas. But you know, Kyler's a pretty techie guy, almost more so than myself.
Okay.
And I did work in the outdoor skills area during my like training days. And you know, it was just basic scouting stuff, so it's not like anything I didn't know. So we decided one day, like we switched name tags and we're just like, Yeah, I'm Kyler today.
Okay. I like it.
So, you know, for one day out of 1 week, 1 year, like he was the tech director and I was the outdoor skills director for a day.
Nice.
And so like scouts would walk into like these outdoor skills merit badges and they'd be like, "Where's Kyler?" And I'd be like, "What are you talking? I'm right here."
You just rolled with it. Like,
Totally.
oh my God. Go ahead.
This is what I mean by gaslight them. Like Kyler and I both fully committed to being like, "What are you talking? I've been doing these merit badge classes with you guys all day, all week. Why are you pretending you don't know me?"
Oh gosh. That's awesome.
And so like the hardest part of that was during his like what is it? Wilderness survival merit badge. They had to do like Dutch oven pizza, and I really didn't know how to do that Dutch oven pizza. Like I'd done Dutch oven stuff before, but I really hadn't done Dutch oven pizza, so I kind of winged it.
Yeah.
It turned out fine, but
yeah,
it was definitely a bit of a bit of guesswork. Like we had gone over it together, like how to do the things for the various days that we were taking over.
Yeah.
But
no, you saying that reminds me of that Office prank when Asian Jim.
I love that joke so much, not only because it's hilarious, but because people just like keep making memes about it.
It's so fun. I've sent you at least one, if not multiple.
It's so fucking like every time that guy, I don't know that actor's name, but every time he's in like a movie or something, they'll just like be like, "Hey, Jim Halpert is an astronaut now."
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is they were in something else together.
Oh, were they?
Where again, I don't know his name either, but the Asian guy was playing like a doctor, and I think the meme was like, "Look, John Krasinski can play the doctor and the patient at the same time."
That meme is so fucking funny, and that joke is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, good old Office memes.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if you were around World Market or if this was like that weird like month and a half when I still worked there after you had left. But we got something in. I think it was some sort of like fixtures or something. And it had like this bright yellow like cardboard triangle that went on the top of it.
Okay.
And it said like, "Do not stack," like fragile.
I do remember this.
Yeah. And we thought it'd be super. I think this was Tom's idea. We thought it'd be funny to like screw with homegirl Hannah.
Yeah.
And like put it on like something of hers and just make her super confused.
This might have been after I left. I don't remember this.
Which it totally worked.
Of course.
But to add to that, I was in a store and they had something in their back room and it had one of those on it. But the whole thing was just completely crushed. Like,
nice.
You had one job. Like, don't stack anything on top of this bright yellow caution triangle.
Aw.
And so I took a picture of it and I sent it to Tom today and I go, "Hannah?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, it's got to be."
Oh my God. I had this great situation a few months back. It was really frustrating, but funny in retrospect.
Yeah.
So, you know, twice a week I get like a half pallet of flour, which is used to make bread, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, that shit isn't light. It's 50 pounds per bag.
Yeah.
And I get, you know, generally somewhere between 15 and 20 bags per delivery. So that's,
okay.
You know, 20 bags of flour is, what is that? Like 1,000 pounds of flour.
Something like that.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So we got this pallet, and like, you know, like I said, they're like half pallets. They're not super tall.
Yeah.
So frequently we have like other pallets stacked on top of them, which is fine.
Yeah.
This 1 week we got this flour pallet and it was a fucking disaster.
Did you order 8 times the amount of flour you needed to?
No.
Okay.
We looked at this pallet and like there was like 3 to 4 bags of flour completely busted open, plus a bag of millet busted open.
Oof.
Which is a nightmare to clean because millet is like these little yellow orbs
Yeah,
so
it's like a grain, right?
Yeah. So you try to brush it to like sweep it away, and it just like goes rolling everywhere.
Oh no!
So we're looking at this pallet. We're like, how the fuck did it end up like this?
Yeah.
And then we kind of pan up to the pallet on top of it. And the pallet on top of it was like a bunch of vegetable shit. So it was like zucchini and like bell peppers and like asparagus, stuff like that.
Okay.
It was like crushed.
Oh.
It was like totally crushed.
Yeah.
And so the theory that we came up with, some fucking dunce at the warehouse took this 1,000-pound pallet of flour, put it on top of this produce pallet.
Yep.
Crushed it.
Yep.
And then like probably the pallet itself like collapsed in some way to cause all of my flour bags to bust open.
Yeah.
And so they just like switched their locations and sent it to us.
Yep. They're like, you know what? Maybe that should have been on the bottom. And just nobody will even pay attention to the fact that I crushed all this produce.
Oh my God. It was so fucked. And it took forever to clean up.
Oh God.
It was such a nightmare, but like hilarious to think that some jackass thought it was a great idea to put 20, 50-pound bags of flour on top of bell peppers.
Well, remember when we'd get pallets where some jackass at the warehouse would put like cases of like pop on top of cases of chips.
Yeah. Yep. Completely crush all the chips underneath.
Yeah. Oh God. Sometimes it's just, you got to think, use your thinker.
I mean, it's been really fun the past week. Our like main distribution center, where I order like I'd say about half of my total orders come through this one distributor, or half of the amount of money that I spend at least.
Yeah.
And they're apparently very short staffed. So they've been doing this really fun thing where they just like don't send a bunch of my order, but they still charge me for it.
What?
And the weird thing about them is, because they're like our largest distributor, it's in their policy that they don't do credits if it's less than if it's less than an entire pallet.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm literally talking like between $300 and $600 per order over the past week.
What?
That I'm just eating that cost.
What?
Yeah, it's complete bullshit.
What the fuck? God, that must be a great job. Like, hey, look at all the stuff they ordered. I'm only going to send them part of it and just collect the money for the rest.
Yeah, like they're making bank on the amount of shit they're not sending us.
Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous.
It's so absurd. And like, this has been their policy for a long time, and it hasn't mattered because like, they don't charge us for stuff that is like out of stock. And then like, if there's things that are charged and they don't show up, like, it's one or two cases and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But this literally, it's like my last week, which this has been only going on for like half of last week. I had nearly $1,000 in items that were charged, but I didn't get. And like this week, it's looking like it's going to be the same trend, but like, more than half of the week. So it's going to end up being like $2,000 out of my like $17,000 budget. So it's like, come on.
Oh my God.
And like, not to mention that like, we're talking shit like hamburger buns that I sell a lot of.
Yeah.
Just not showing up. At all. So like, my tables are fucking empty. I don't have half the shit that I ordered, and it's like I'm just eating that cost.
Yeah.
And it's killing our spoilage too, because we have to write off all the shit that didn't show up.
Oh God. Well, and the fact that like not only did you pay for it and not get it, but people aren't buying that.
Right.
Like
right.
It's not there for them. You can't even make money off of.
Right. So our sales, purchases, and spoilage are all shit because of this.
Oh God, that sucks.
Yeah, it's easily explainable and like Regional understands it, but like it's just so frustrating to be like, all right. And like, my cake decorators were asking me today, they were like, we have this order for like 4 dozen chocolate cupcakes tomorrow. Are we gonna have chocolate cupcakes come in tomorrow? And I'm like, well, I certainly ordered them. I cannot promise beyond that.
Oh man, that's wild.
And it's so frustrating.
It's wild.
And it's like, I'm like dreading tomorrow. I'm like praying that this box of chocolate cupcakes shows up, because if they don't, we have to reach out to this customer who like 3 days in advance ordered 4 dozen cupcakes. They obviously need that for something.
Right.
So if we don't have it for them, like we're going to have this whole fucking customer service issue over it.
Oh my God.
And it's just completely out of my control at this point.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's so dumb. It's so frustrating.
I thought about one incident from my blackout last week.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how my dog Lily doesn't know how to do stairs.
No, she does not.
So, normally I carry her up and down the stairs to go outside, which is ridiculous in itself. But when it's pitch black and you've got to carry this 50-pound dog up and down a completely dark stairwell at night.
Do they not have lights in your lobby?
The power was out.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And, like the courtyard lights were out because, again, no power. And like the moon wasn't bright enough, I guess, to provide very much light at all. So I'm like reaching around trying to find like...
You reach around your dog?
Nope. Not that kind of reach around. But yeah, so I had to like feel around to try to find like the handrail for the stairs and slowly go step by step.
Oof.
Yeah. I think she was kind of confused why it was so dark, but it is what it is.
We had at my summer camp again, another camp story for you.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
We had this building towards the front of the camp that it was like a storage building.
Mm-hmm.
We had someone, their job was quartermaster. They would work there during the summer, and they were like the main maintenance person, and they would like manage whatever was in there and fix shit and stuff. But like during the other parts of the year when it wasn't summer, we would store stuff there, primarily like camp related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like we had at our camp, you had like 2 options as a troop going there. We had like pre-set up tents you could use, or we had campsites that were like, didn't have any tents.
Yeah.
So most of what we would store there during the summer was like tent shit. This warehouse was awful though, because it like didn't have any fucking lights. So you'd go in there at the beginning of the summer to grab tents and stuff, and it'd be like this dark, poorly lit room, and you have to like carry out hundreds of pounds worth of like tent shit.
Oh gosh.
From like high places, like you have to like get out a ladder, like go climbing in the dark, and like you had a little bit of light coming in from outside, but it really wasn't enough. It was very dark in there.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about our old coworker Marco.
Fucking moron.
Yeah. But Marco's this guy that we worked with, and I mean, where do you even begin to talk about this guy? I don't know. But he wasn't necessarily the sharpest tool in the shed.
He was missing a couple.
Yeah, and it's whatever. Not gonna completely hate on someone just for not being the smartest person, but he just fueled.
He didn't help himself at all.
No, he did really dumb stuff. Like I think we had mentioned when he like wrote on the dry erase board with the Sharpie.
Yeah, he did all kinds of stupid shit, and then like he wouldn't own up to it. He fell asleep on that bed and then just pretended for years that that's not what happened.
Oh my god! Do you remember what his excuse for everything was? It was an honest mistake.
Right.
And we're like, okay, like I understand, like people make mistakes, but Marco, you keep doing the exact same thing.
Right, you never learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, it's not a mistake at that point. Just because you do something wrong, you can't just instantly say it was a mistake and it clears it up. But do you remember the thing that he told us he used to do as a kid when he was growing up in Peru?
I sure do.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like it's kind of a common joke, at least somewhat common. Like, if someone does something stupid, someone might be like, man, did you like used to eat paint chips as a kid or something?
I think it comes from like lead paint.
Oh yeah, no, it for sure does. Yeah, because like kids would eat lead paint and then it would fuck up
their brains. Yeah.
Yeah. Marco, this jackass, fully admitted he used to peel the paint off the wall in Peru and eat it.
Legitimately was out there eating paint chips.
And I got to imagine, coming from Peru, that's got to be
some lead paint.
That's got to be some lead paint. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure I know there's, you know, very civilized isn't the word I'm looking for. But
advanced
developed areas of Peru. But he had told stories.
That was definitely not from those areas.
That's not where he was from. So I can't imagine that they had high quality paint. That had to be full of lead. And boy just admitted to picking at the wall and eating the paint chips.
And that became a running joke.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Right. One time we had a mouse issue at World Market.
Yeah.
And to be secretive about it in front of customers, Carissa had the idea that we just refer to it as Stuart. Like
Stuart Little.
Yeah, like Stuart Little, which that actually worked. But God, it was so funny. Stuart would eat he would eat those little like wheels of cheese we had.
He'd eat the cheese. He ate crackers.
Yep.
He ate like the little gold chocolate coins.
Yep. Yeah. And he ate one time he got into one of those like rolls of cookies. I think they were like the Maria or whatever.
Those are the I think it was the digestives.
Maybe it was digestives. And we had kind of had like, you know, like an area where like stuff would need to be written off. And our coworker Jeff had found those and just set them over there because he didn't have a phone to write them off. Well, like a couple hours later, Jeff walks into the back room and Marco's standing there and he's just going to town on some cookies. And he's like, Jeff's like, Marco, where did you get those from? Oh, they were just sitting here. But Marco, the mouse had been eating those. Sorry, I literally just spit everywhere. I think I mostly got it all over the microphone. But yeah, he's like, no, Marco, you shouldn't be eating those. Like
a mouse ate those.
Like mice carry diseases and stuff. And like I heard about this and I was like, Marco, did you at least like open up the other end and start eating them? And he's like, no, it was already open, so I just started eating them from that side.
How do you not notice?
Right, and he
like mouse eating is pretty fucking hard to miss.
Yeah, they're little nibbles.
Right.
Oh gosh, and it's not like he didn't know. We had this mouse problem for a hot second, but oh God, Marco.
My favorite example of him just like denying something that clearly did happen was like when I had first started working there, he was like doing some training with me and like he taught me how to do a bale. You know, take the cardboard compactor and empty it out by making a bale out of it.
Yeah.
And like as he was going through the instructions to like show me how to do it, he like mentioned like there was this chain on the back of the baler that would like, and I think it just like pulled down the hydraulic pressure thing. I don't fucking know what the chain did.
It ejects the bale.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
So in order for it to do that, you'd have to like take this really big heavy chain and like lift it up onto a certain bar.
Yeah.
And he mentioned to me like you have to remember to like take this back down. Otherwise, if you try to like use the baler, the chain will snap.
Yeah.
And then the baler will be out of commission for a while. And he goes, I know because I did that. And then like a couple days go by and you and Ken are doing a bale.
Yeah.
And you start like giving Marco shit for breaking the chain. And he's like, I didn't do that. I never done that.
I know.
And I was sitting right there and I was like, Marco, you told me you did that like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Oh.
And he got like so mad at me for calling him out on his shit. And it's like, just own up to it.
Yeah, like nobody cared. You weren't going to get in trouble. Yeah, we were going to make fun of him for it, but it was going to be done and over with. Like, we ended up making fun of him more
because he refused to accept it.
Exactly. Oh, God. That kid.
I remember one time we went to make a bail and like somehow that chain had fucking like the chain had like doubled down on it, like had like doubled down on itself as it was like being laid on the ground.
Yeah.
And like slid underneath where the cardboard was.
Yeah.
So like as we were going to do this bail, it was like completely stuck underneath the cardboard. Like we couldn't like pull it up onto the bar. And so like we just kind of like ran the baler. Like while this chain was underneath there, and like we heard this loud ass pop sound.
Oh
and
my
like
God.
it didn't break, it just like came out, but we were immediately terrified that it had just completely broken.
Yeah. I remember Jeff telling me a story about making a bail.
Yeah, he told me that story
and
too.
Breaking the chain. And when it happened to him, one of the links on the chain flew all the way from where the baler was and like nailed the office door very hard. And that's what, maybe, I don't know, 30 feet?
Yeah, something like that. It's not a short distance.
No, but that would have taken somebody out if you were opening the door.
It would have killed somebody.
Yeah, you'd have been done. Yeah. One time I was making a bail with Ken, and the bail must have been too full. Because when we ejected it, two of the bail wires snapped.
Oh no.
And we're like, we don't have a choice. We gotta cut these other two and feed them back into the baler and make another bail.
Oh, it's the worst.
So we finally like cut it, and I think we ended up spending like 3 hours like picking up the cardboard, throwing it back into the baler, and making like a small normal size bail, and then still having to throw the rest of it back in the baler.
Fucking sucks.
And clean up. Yeah, it was not fun.
There were some days that just like you had some random project you had to do that would just take all day.
Yeah, I mean that one, as much as it sucked, at least Ken and I just got to like dick around and not have to listen to Carissa.
Right. I mean, it can be nice sometimes. I remember one day like some customer brought back like a cabinet that they were having trouble building. And I had to spend all day, literally like my entire shift, trying to like figure out what was up with it to like get it back together.
Oh yeah.
The issue was like with the cabinet hinges. World Market had these weird cabinet hinges that like you could like tighten and loosen certain parts.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that they could like, so the doors would like stick out at different distances to like make them fit better.
Yeah.
Because World Market just didn't engineer them to fit right the first time. They'd like leave it up to the customer to like tighten these hinges to like make it fit better.
Yeah.
And so like it was like a 3-door cabinet. And so like if one door was like not in the right spot, the other two wouldn't close properly. So I spent like all day like reassembling this cabinet and then just like tightening and loosening these fucking cabinet hinges to like make them fit. It sucked. But you know, I didn't have to deal with customers all day, so that was nice.
Mac, this, I don't know if we carried this when you were still working there, but do you remember we had something called the Verona Bar?
Oh my God. Yes, I remember that thing.
And it was a pain in the ass to build.
It was a nightmare.
Because some of those screws, like you couldn't see.
No.
Like you just had to blindly reach in there with a little Allen wrench and you could get like a quarter turn at a time.
Yeah.
Well, one time, I think, God, this is when I was furniture head. So this was going back a long time. But I had to build one for a customer because they paid for assembly. Well, it was getting near the end of the day, and I had been screwing around trying to get this thing built for a really long time, and I couldn't get this screw in there. And it really didn't need to be in there. Whatever it was holding already had like 2 other screws. It was going to be fine. So I took the bolt cutters, cut like 3/4 of the bolt off, put some Gorilla Glue on it, and just shoved it where it was supposed to go.
Oh my God.
So it looked like it was a proper screw. Yeah.
Don't pay for assembly, folks.
Nah. Not at least not there.
Not from Mike.
No. Yeah, at least not for me. Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Oh God.
Mac, do you know your receiver at work?
Yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of receivers. A lot of them tend to have like kind of goofy personality traits.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but both of them are pretty unique guys.
Oh, I actually don't know either of the ones at your store. I'm just talking about like a few that I've met.
Okay.
Through my travels. Well, there's one that works at one of my accounts, and I'll just kind of paint you a picture of what this guy looks like. Okay, he's a little bigger guy. He's got a long ponytail.
Does he have an OG ponytail? Or is he too young for that?
He's too young.
Oh, damn.
Like, he's probably like 30 or under. But he's got a long ponytail down probably down to his ass.
Damn.
Yeah, he's got a long ass ponytail. And he's got super huge gauged ears.
Okay.
Which is whatever. But I think it's funny that he sticks his earbuds through the gauge to hold it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And it all seemed kind of cool. Like, yeah, this guy's kind of rad. He's got a ponytail. He's got these gauges. He loops his earbuds through them. Cool dude. Well, one day I needed him to pull down a pallet that was up in the shelving because I had my backstock on it. So, I walk up to him. He's at his little receiver's desk, and I go, hey, when you get a chance, can you pull down my backstock for me? Because there's not a lot of people there that can drive a high-low or forklift for those of you who don't know what a high-low is. He'd always been super nice. This day, he just freaked the fuck out.
Oh, we're just having a bad day.
He shoved his paperwork, turned around, took his pen, threw it probably 15 feet in the air behind him.
Okay.
It hit the wall and fell down onto his desk. And he's like, yeah, sure. It's not like I have anything better to do.
Oh, geez.
So, I'm thinking, all right, this guy's already not in a great mood. I want to try to make this as quick and painless as possible. So I was going to add to my palette, not take anything away. And I was only putting another case or two on there. So it's got to be shrink wrapped before it can go up top. So I grabbed the shrink wrap. I had it all set to go. He pulls the pallet down, put the cases on. I get it all wrapped up, and it's kind of in a tight spot for him to put it away. So he's kind of struggling with it. And I'm standing there with this shrink wrap in my hand. I want to put it away. This guy's already not in a great mood. I wasn't just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I don't watch you do your fucking job. And I was like, man, I just wanted to put the shrink wrap away for you. And so he finally gets it up there. And as he drives away, he's like, yeah, I got nothing better to do than pull this down for you.
Man, yeah, you're a real dick about this.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to watch me do this, It was real fucking weird.
I was kind of sitting here waiting, reserving judgment for the chance that he'd be like, listen, I'm sorry, man. I'm having a really tough day.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. You all have days like that where it's I really don't have a spare second and I have to, but you're not at fault for that. You don't work there. You don't know the goings on of his day.
Yeah.
That's not your fault.
Yeah. Well, then the next time I had to deal with him, he was super nice. Nicest dude in the world. I couldn't find shrink wrap. And he's like, let me go track some down for you. Super cool dude that day. Guess he was just kind of off one day, but
that sucks.
At first I was like,
it's such an awkward situation when you're stuck with that guy who's just having a real shit day. And you're like, I just need, I'll do as much as I can to help you out here.
Yeah. I wanted to try and help him out, but he just wasn't having it.
Oof.
So yeah, after that particular day, I was like, man, this ponytail and earbuds through the gauged ears are seeming a little fucked up right now. But I was judging him on that day because of how freaking crazy he was.
Yeah.
But now he's cool.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So
talking about like the really large gauges made me think of like a joke that it's in an old video of mine.
mhm.
I think I might have told you about this video back in the day. This video was recorded around the time that you and I were doing those overnights to remodel the like grocery section.
Yeah.
Gourmet, that's what it was called.
Yep.
And I thought I had kidney stones.
You did. Yeah, it was just the two of us that one night.
Yes. And so like I had to leave work early, go to an urgent care, and they told me it was like muscle strain, and they give me these like mega painkillers.
Yeah, we both had to leave because it was just the two of us there.
Yeah. And so like I went home that day. I was exhausted from doing these overnights, and I was like on these mega painkillers, just kind of like fucked out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I decided to do a live stream with Sean. We played Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Okay.
And we were just, because of this situation, I was just in a mood being fucking weird.
Yeah.
And so like the video that came out of this is still one of my favorite videos. He hates it because it's so like, the humor is so like just fucked.
Okay.
And for anyone who wants to watch it, it's called Tetsu Cabro.
Okay.
There's a monster in the game called Tetsu Cabra, and we kept hunting him. We called him Tetsu Cabro, and like literally like half of the video is like us coming up with puns based on that.
Okay.
Or based on his name. Like one of my personal favorites was like, oh, if Tetsu Cabra made shoes, he'd be a Tetsu cobbler.
Oh God.
Just really dumb puns like that.
Okay.
And for him, like the video is only 10 minutes long, but for him and I, it's like hours of us just making these dumb puns.
I think I'm going to have to watch that when I get home. That sounds hilarious.
It's a hilarious video in my opinion. But again, he hates it because some of the jokes are a bit risque, to the point that I made a disclaimer in the video where I was like fucked out of my mind in this video. Don't take anything I said in this video seriously.
Nice.
But like one of the jokes that I made throughout that video, and this is so stupid, it turned into this whole thing. I was like, you ever see girls who get those gauges really large? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you ever stick a dick in there?
Oh God. Oh, you went there. Oh.
I mean, this whole joke about like if someone sold a gauge that was like a flashlight. It was called a flesh lobe.
Oh my God. That's actually kind of a genius name.
I think it's fucking hilarious, but it's a really off the wall joke for me.
Oh my God.
That's the kind of humor you can expect out of the video. Just like so fucked.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm for sure going to watch that literally like the second I get home.
I'll send it to you. Like I adore that video. I think it's so fucking funny, but it was really messed up.
Oh man.
We're coming to the end of the podcast here.
Yeah.
I don't think you know. It was on Twitter, so I was afraid you might have seen him say this, but I have a bit of surprise for you because I don't think you know.
Okay.
Austin.
Yeah.
Sent over some pictures.
He did?
Yes. So,
what did he send pictures of?
I think it's time for the first installment of Rate My Mommy.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, first of all, before I even look at this picture, Austin, thank you so much for being cool and actually sending us a picture.
Such a fucking gamer move. He told me he's trying to catch up on the podcast so he can listen to this segment.
And actually, thank you, Austin, again, for being the only person who has sent us a picture yet.
And any parent.
And hasn't caused me to have to go digging through other people's social media to find pictures of their parents.
Yeah. So, here's our first photo.
Oh, okay. All right. She does not look old enough to be Austin's mom.
No, because Austin's my age.
Yeah, no, she looks like, I'm just trying to guess like an age. If I looked at her, I'd probably go early 20s.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, she looks very young.
And I have another picture for you. She said this is the threatening one, to which I responded like, Dommy mommy.
Oh, damn. Yeah, she looks like she's going to take somebody out.
She got that meat tenderizer.
Yup. Damn.
Tenderizer.
I hardly
know her.
Oh, man. That is awesome.
It's good looking mom.
Good looking mom. Hell yeah.
Definitely the cool mom.
Oh, for sure. She, you know she is.
The mom who like brings over the pizza and the Mountain Dew.
Hell yeah.
Hangs out with the boys.
Hangs out with the boys.
And the boys do not mind.
Oh, not one freaking bit. No, not at all. Oh, that is awesome.
I knew you'd be excited about this. I was like, Mike is going to be so happy.
I am super excited. Oh, I'm really shocked at how young she looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that
this is why everyone, when they meet his mom, is like, Austin, your mom looks pretty good.
Like, so Austin's around your age, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I can't. I think we're the exact. I think he's also 23. I'm not positive. He might be a year or two younger or older.
Like that first pic you showed me
looks like she's around that age, like as a generous estimate.
Like if they were together somewhere, it would not be out of the question for someone to think that that's his girlfriend.
Yeah,
that is so strange, but very cool. Good on her.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Looking good, Austin's mom.
Austin's mom has got it going on.
Got it going on. Her name isn't Stacy, is it?
Fuck, I don't know her name.
God, if her name was Stacy, that would be so perfect.
Let me. I don't know how quick I'll respond. Like, I'll just see it real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Austin for being cool about that and just going along with the joke.
Yeah, hell yeah. And you know what? The fact that you were so cool about that, it makes me not want to give you shit for having a hot mom. I just let it go.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, Kyler, you're next. Mom, Dad, you can even send us a sibling if you want. We'll just rate anyone you want.
I don't think Kyler has any. I feel bad. No, he definitely doesn't. He definitely doesn't. He's just got mom.
Just mom. Okay. Well, all right, Kyler.
I don't think Kyler doesn't listen to the podcast that I know of, though.
That's fine. Well, next time I see him in one of your streams, I'll bug him about sending over some pics.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. That is awesome. I'm glad we got a rate your mom segment.
Yeah, epic.
Gross, dude.
What would Austin's mom say?
Gross. Probably.
Who knows?
I could just imagine, but who knows? She's a cool mom. She may reply to your burp with a burp of her own.
I can see that.
Right?
I could see that.
Cool mom thing to do. Her burp might answer your burp. Your burps might be talking to each other.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
I don't understand like and obviously this is a super generalization term a thing, and I don't mean this is like all women, but I don't understand why like some women are like so adverse to burping. It's like a lot of guys are like, bro, if you burp back to me, that's a special relationship right there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing, I guess. We're just different. We're different species.
I guess. I was talking to a coworker. They've been like dealing with some shit with overnights recently with just tons of stuff coming in thanks to this fucked power outage. And she was like talking about how she's like starting to gain some muscles. And I was like, yeah, you're going to get swole. And she's like, I don't want to be swole. I want to like stay small. And I was like, why don't you want to be swole? Muscly girls are in. Every guy wants to get beat up by a strong woman.
Right?
Absolutely.
Girl with some arms on her?
Absolutely. I like my dream woman is one that could beat the shit out of me personally. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
But just give me that, you know?
Yeah.
Just beat the shit out of me. Kill me if you want.
Oh man, you know what? I got one thing before I forget. This is a little disappointing. So you know I'm a big Little League World Series fan. I've talked about this. Mm-hmm. Love watching it. It's great. It's really disappointing though that because of COVID, it's only US teams this year. Ooh. So there's no little international kids.
No little Dutch Latino kids running around.
That's exactly what I thought about. And when you made that joke about you said something about a cobbler.
Cobbler? I hardly know her. The beach cobbler from I was talking about Dutch oven cooking.
Yeah, I think was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Tetsu cobbler.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you're thinking
yeah.
of. Sorry, there were two different kinds of cobblers.
Yeah.
No, I get where you're going with like the wooden clogs.
Yeah, I heard about that because we had made that joke about the basketball team with the wooden shoes.
The wooden Nike joke from that episode I thought was fucking hilarious. Like that was really solid.
Yeah, that might be that and throwing the baguette through the window, I think are probably the two funniest things that came out of that.
Good old Kanan. What a good guy.
Yeah, good dude.
Actually, speaking of Kanan, you probably don't know about this. Do you know about VTubers?
No.
So it stands for virtual YouTuber.
Okay.
It's been a trend. It's been a trend for a number of years, but it really exploded over the past couple. It's this thing where primarily female streamers, but not exclusively, streamers will instead of using a webcam, they use like motion and face tracking and like have like an anime girl be them on a live stream.
Okay.
And that's a VTuber. And so it's been this thing that's been really exploding over the past year or so. And so Kanan recently debuted his VTuber model. So now he's not an anime girl, he's an anime boy. But
okay.
So, go check out twitch.tv/Kanan play games. Kanan plays games for the VTuber experience over there.
Nice.
It's pretty pog.
Hell yeah.
Because Kanan never shows his face. He hasn't for the entire time. I'm like one of the few people on the internet who knows what he looks like. So, that's the closest you're going to get, folks. And now his stream has a little bit more of like a personality, visual interest vibe that it didn't have before. So,
nice.
Kind of cool.
Nice. Well, I had tagged Amy in our social media post for the episode that came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do it to people who I know listen, and we tell stories about them. And she did us a solid, and she then added it to her story.
Oh, nice.
So all of her people saw the episode.
Pog moment.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of Amy's friends.
Hell yeah. Get it.
Watch the podcast.
I like it.
Eat some paint chips and mouse crackers.
Only if you're...
Just do it.
All right. Yeah, why not?
YOLO.
You only YOLO once.